Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, hello, hello. Wherever you may be, I hope you are doing well. This is Danny Tisdale, and it's the Danny Tisdale Show. And as we will do today as we speak to a leader, a legend, and a trailblazer in the world of Harlem. Before we get started, though, I want to ask you a question. Who is the first woman to wholly own a black-focused golf magazine in the United States? Now, think about that. Now, and also, we want you to stay connected with us, so don't forget to hit us up at Twitter, twitter.com/HWMag, also on Facebook, and, of course, any of the social media sites out there. Just put our name in, Harlem World Magazine. You should find us. And don't forget to go to our website at harlemworldmagazine.com. Excuse me. And check us out. Send us some information based on questions, any guests you think we should have on the show who can tell their story to our Harlem audience wherever they may be. And as you know, we continue to celebrate leaders and legends and trailblazers wherever they may be, and especially in April as we speak to women and doing Women's History Month. But as my mother used to always tell me, every month and every day is Women's History Day. I heard you, Mom. And I asked you the question. First woman to wholly own a black-focused golf magazine in USA. Well, we're speaking to her today, and that's Debert Cook. And I'm going to apologize already because I've already been destroying her name. But we're going to speak to her in a few seconds after I do a quick bio on her. She was born in West Virginia, lives in New York City. She launched the African American Golfers Digest in March 2003, focusing on the soulful world of golf in Manhattan, with 80,000 readers today. Ms. Cook is the first black woman to wholly, as I mentioned before, wholly own magazine in the United States. The magazine has been featured on Golf Channel, ESPN, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Essence, you name it, and of course locally here at New York, Amsterdam News, and many others. Ms. Cook has received numerous awards from the African American Chamber of Commerce of Westchester, the President's Award by the New York Professionals Club, North American Excellence Award, Outstanding Leadership Award by the Darby Foundation, the Pioneer Award, and, of course, many, many others. And there's more to come, and I'm really looking forward to having this conversation with you. Ms. Cook, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks again for having me on. It's a great day coming off a Tigers win at the Masters. I appreciate it.
That's right. Oh, you beat me to it. I was going to talk about that.
Everybody's
I was
talking about it.
Yeah, I have to say that, I forget what channel it was on, but I was surfing the channels over the weekend, and I said, here's Tiger. You know what? This is like those other years. This may not be his year. And what did I do? I turned the channel to something else, and, of course, probably as soon as I turned the channel, he won. So what do you think it was? I just want to have a quick conversation about this, but
yeah, I know it's a hot topic for sure this week.
Yeah, what happened this year that didn't happen other years for Tiger? Is it something like that, or?
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Number one, his body is much better. That's the one thing that's pivotal for his winning. His body's much better, and his mind is much stronger, and he's a much more mature man. So those three things combined put him back into the zone. And people are just so thrilled that he was able to accomplish this goal, because we know it means more to him than it actually means to a lot of his fans,
Right.
That's
so right. I have to tell you,
Masters jacket.
I had a little tear coming out of my eye because of what you just said, that I could see the joy and the work that he had put in to get there. He had his son there with his mother. That was it was pretty incredible. It was pretty incredible.
Yep, the only person missing was his dad. But we have all those pictures of them hugging when he first won, at the young age of 21 years old, He came on the scene. He pounced on that scene. and has not left the fan base since. He's been through a lot, and we're so happy for Tiger.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is that commit to, after what's happened, early in his career where he had the success, and then, years afterwards, and, not having the success, somebody might say, I'll throw in the towel, I'll do a reality TV show. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. He really stayed focused, and I guess he stayed focused for this moment.
And that's what you have to do if you're going to succeed in anything. You must stay focused. You can't deviate from the path. No matter what opportunities come, you got to know what your priority is.
Well, and I'm going to use that as a segue because, you've done the same thing in the African American Golfers Digest started in 2003, and I think we started bothering each other about that time. Who inspired you to do, really to create the digest and to do the work that you're doing, Debert?
It all started when I own an event planning company, too, that just turned 20 years old. And once I started that business, through corporate meetings and seminars, websites and things like that, once I launched out on my own, I started getting invitations to attend a lot of these corporate golf events. And I remember seeing my bosses in Fortune 500 companies that I'd worked for getting these invitations and going out and coming back with a handful of business cards for me to enter into the database, right?
Giving them to you.
Giving them to me. It's like, okay, so now I'm in business. I'm getting these invitations. Let me go and see personally what's happening out here at these golf tournaments. I couldn't play golf. I was familiar with the game just from watching it on TV, and of course, I had been excited by Tiger. Everybody got a lot of what they love about golf from Tiger. And I'm a tennis player. I've run track. I've thrown discus. I've played girls softball, basketball. Yeah, I love sports. In high school. So this was just another venture for me. I said, let me take some lessons. Let me accept a couple of these invitations. And the first one I accepted was out in Las Vegas. So I took some lessons down at Chelsea Piers. I had a wonderful teacher. It was a woman named Wendy, and it was so good that I had 6 weeks with her. And it was a group of us, about 5 women. So it was an excellent learning spot for me, close to home, and a woman teacher, and just 6 weeks I could learn some of the basics of the game and the rules, and I was on my way. And when I got to Vegas, I had such a wonderful time with the group of golfers. It was a fundraiser tournament on the corporate side. And I came back, just like my bosses did, with a handful of business cards. And I'm like, wow, this is a good game for me. It's healthy. I can stay fit, and I can grow my business with it. Yeah, so that's how it all started. That's how it started with the magazine. And I said, well, there's no magazine out here. When I'm looking on these rags and I don't see nothing, let me just go ahead and put something out there. And before we could even get the website finished, people were sending in subscriptions. I was like, wait a minute, the website ain't even finished, and people are sending in subscriptions because I had put up the subscription page before I put up a lot of the content.
Smart move.
No, I didn't need to do that. But once it came in, we were ready for them. We were ready to launch. The magazine was printed. So that's how that started.
So, and that was 2003?
Yeah, 16 years ago.
16 years ago, right. So, that was when we started was 2003. So you had last year your 15th year anniversary.
In March the 16th. We started in March.
Okay. So did you celebrate last year, that 15th anniversary, or you're looking to the next 15?
We celebrate every issue that comes out because you know how publishing can be. Right?
Yes,
a lot of stuff
has
happened on this landscape. We had to adjust a lot of our stuff for the digital platform.
Right.
Every issue that we put out, we celebrate. I've not done anything out of the ordinary. We do a lot of golf trips, international and domestic. So at each of those functions, we announce, that we've survived this long in helping our people become more involved in the game of golf, and that's our celebration.
That's fantastic, and I and talking and thinking about the readers what did black folks do to get their golf fix before the digest? Because we know it wasn't on TV, anything about black golfers, not unless it was, a Tiger, which of course they love. But what were folks doing before? What were black folks doing before to get the golf fix?
Yeah, they were having themselves a lot of fun following Vijay Singh. He's a person of color. Right. And getting involved with a lot of the young black collegiate golfers, following them, their stats and tours, and, of course, following those youngsters in the first tee. That's basically
how did
what
they do
was
that?
out there.
They went to ESPN or those rare moments that it was on TV? Is that what they were doing? Was going to ESPN or Channel 7 when they had the wide world of sports back in the day, or what? How did they actually follow?
even today we have black tours that are not featured on any of the networks. So if you're not in the grind, if you're not in the grind and in the loop, it's hard to find out where can I see these people.
Wow.
So that's the thing about our magazine. We help you find where all the golfers are playing, what tournaments are being listed, charity, collegiate, the first tee. So before that, there was nothing. That's when I noticed there was a void. There was nothing, and there still is nothing.
Amazing.
Unless they need some content for Black History Month or women's diversity, then they'll pull up somebody, and that'll be the profile for the month.
That's right. And they'll try to stretch that month out, for just that article or that content, as long as they can. I'm just really dumbfounded that we're kind of here after all these years, and that we have TV One, we have Oprah. I'm just thinking on the TV side or the cable side, and they don't even cover.
I know. I've been trying to partner with all
black
of them.
golfing, right?
Like, here's a market here. Here's a strong market. We're not
wide
that strong,
open.
but
wide open.
That's part of the problem. We're only like 2 million people that play golf when it comes to African Americans, and women in that demographic is the fastest growing new player, but we're not numbers that they see where they can really make money, on the investment with the production and all that. So it's a catch-22, but if they want to do it, I believe they could do it. I really do. Because I've been trying to reach TV One, BET, and now with all the YouTube channels, we could just launch something with a major sponsor. You got to have sponsorship. You can't do nothing without it. These markets are only so deep, and then people get tired of losing money. So, a major network could pull it off. Yeah, and if they want information, call me. I have plenty of content.
And stay on the line, folks, if you're going to call her, because she's going to be giving out her number at the end of the show, or if not her number, anyway, to contact her, because I think it's a great opportunity. It's a great idea. And so I'm curious if there's 2 million, and I'm sure there might be more. When you started, it wasn't 2 million. What were the numbers then?
Yeah, they've not really adjusted too much. It always hovers around 1.5, 2.5.
I see.
And that's about it. Yeah, then a lot of the old golfers, they're being replaced with some of the women now, because women, like I said, is the fastest growing segment. And black women in the black demographic is the fastest growing segment. And the young people are being attracted to the game, but not as much as black women, especially women in their 30s. Yes. Whose children are growing up and they've got a little more time. They want to enhance their career. They want to be a part of the Old Boys Network. There are a couple of good reasons why black executive women are now starting to play this game.
Black executive women. That's our demographic.
Yeah. Okay.
This is news to me. I didn't know that. So I'm sorry, I cut you off.
And it's usually the young women who recognize, I need to be involved in something outside of my comfort zone. Because it's not always comfortable to go into a new situation. You're not familiar with it, and golf has so many rules. You don't want to embarrass yourself. You don't want to look like you're out here and I don't know what I'm doing, and they're talking about me behind my back. So it could be an uncomfortable situation, but that's where the lessons come in.
That's real.
You learn, and then you go. Yeah, and there's plenty of black women golf organizations that are looking for new members. People are interested in wherever they live to find a nice women's golf group. There are plenty of them that will welcome you as a new golfer.
That is, this is news to me, and I have to say, because, I knew we were going to do this podcast, I said, well, just for the heck of it, I'm going to check locally in Harlem to see if there's any place to golf, because I don't know men or women who golf, and I don't golf, even though I played sports. I always like the drive? Is that the longest shot? You hit the drive?
Oh, the longest drive? Mm-hmm. The longest drive?
Yeah, so that's all I wanted to do was just give me the club and let me just swing it. And, of course, I got on Google, and there's the Harlem Gold Academy, the Bridge Golf Learning Center. This sounds like it is the way to kind of turn some of those numbers around, which is to have more of these kind of facilities in communities like Harlem. Is that right, or am I on the wrong track?
That is absolutely correct. The Harlem Golf Center is great. The Bridge Golf Foundation, they do a wonderful job, and they accommodate adults and children. And they have an after-school program and an annual charity tournament. That's a great spot for people to start in Harlem who want to learn the game, the Bridge Golf Foundation.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that. And yeah, it's really amazing. And I just want to let our listeners know they're listening to the Danny Tisdale Show on Harlem World Radio, and we're speaking to a golf publishing legend, Debert Cook, whose name I'm getting better at it. I've known her for a decade plus, and I should be able to pronounce her name, and I'm going to work on it. But I wanted to ask you, with your crazy schedule, flying around the world in your jet to a golf tournament here, flying to the West Coast for something there, when do you get time to swing the club? Or do you?
Definitely, I find time. I sure do. This weekend, I was just over at Marine Park with my golf ladies, the Black Jewels Ladies Golf Association. They're based in Brooklyn. Yeah, we have a good time. We'll be headed over to New Jersey to Top Golf in a couple of weeks to have our annual Cinco de Mayo program. Everybody's welcome, men and women. So check them out. And if you need information, reach me. But I'll play at Missoula up in the Bronx sometime. I'll play at Pelham in the Bronx. I get over to the Towers Golf Club in Queens. It's a lot of good places.
So all around New York City.
All around.
And I did some research, and I guess I didn't do enough research with some of the team. I'm gonna mention the team so I can blame some of it on them. Did you already receive your award from the Wake Robin Golf Club?
Oh, yeah, we did. The bio has not been updated. Yes, I did. They did a fantastic job of telling me, how much they appreciated everything we do. That happened up in Maryland. And the Wake Robins is the oldest women's golf club in America, not just black women, the oldest women's golf club in America. So I had a wonderful time with them. Yeah, we had a great time.
It sounds fantastic and really quite exciting. And this has just been an awakening for me in a lot of ways. And why is golf important to play? And the people that I know, they always say they play because it's a social event. I really myself didn't think of it as something that really is good for your health because, I just think most people just play basketball or football to stay healthy. But I did some research. It helps mental health, weight loss, reduce stress, reduce anxiety? Are those some of the things that I'm sure those things you already know, but what are some of the benefits of playing golf?
Yeah, it's a healthy game. You can use the cart to play, ride around on the course while you go from shot to shot, or you can walk the course. And that's what I do. I'm a walker. I love to walk the course. You can walk up to 7 miles on a golf course, out in the fresh air. Yeah, bending over to pick up your ball.
That's an 18-hole?
Yeah, an 18-hole course.
Okay.
Yep, you can walk up to 7 miles on the course. And it's a healthy game to play as long as you stay away from the abundance of alcohol and cigarettes and things that are available on the course. While you play. A lot of people,
don't tell me they do that.
But they defeat the healthy purpose.
Well, it's funny because of course, we never see that part, but of course, it makes sense.
Oh yeah, and a lot of gambling going on out there too.
Oh, come on. You got to be kidding me. Look, I thought golf was just the clean sport. It's like any other sport, I guess.
Say, oh, my God. I didn't know all this was happening on the greens.
This is just like any other sport.
Sport.
And also doing the research, and I think this is why I mentioned facilities, and I think the facilities are important because it's key to getting our next Althea Gibson. I, of course, have heard of her, playing tennis, but I didn't know that she was an outstanding golfer.
Oh, yeah. She learned the game a little bit. Yep, and she got involved in playing. But that's because, like I said, there's not a lot of black women, especially back then, who were into the sport. So to see her transition from tennis to golf, it's like, we've got black women playing golf, but they went to Althea, and Althea learned the game, and she enjoyed it. She set a lot of phenomenal records. Yeah, but, women playing this game now, Renee, a friend of mine and a legend in her own right, to own a golf course in Ohio that her family has managed and actually developed since 1946,
Wow.
She and her family still own that golf course, the Clearview Golf Course in East Canton, Ohio. So that's one of the female legends who played on the LPGA, yes.
Okay. Yeah, amazing. And I'm, of course, writing this down because, I just want to do more research. And I just think it's so important to, do the kind of work that you're doing. And what kind of advice, Debert, would you give to male or female who wants to follow in your footsteps? What advice would you give them?
I would just say be committed, have a sense of direction, and focus. Don't get distracted. There's so much stuff that can get you distracted out here in business. And to continue to cultivate your craft. You can never stop learning. You can never stop signing up for a lot of seminars and workshops yourself.
That's great advice.
Keep your edge in the industry. Whatever industry you're in, you have to keep your edge and be relatable.
What do you mean by be relatable?
You have to know that people out there, you're serving a purpose, and that the people can connect with you on the level that you're introducing either golf to them, or if you're selling telephones or cell systems, to be relatable to people where they can identify with you. Not to seem like, this is something I'm not sure about, I can't get involved in it, I really don't know what they're talking about. Be able to connect with people on all levels, because this business stratosphere is made up of many levels. And there's money at every level. You just got to connect with people on their level.
Connect with people on their level, and I think that's a great advice because it's so easy not to stay focused. It's so easy not to connect with people and, focus on other things that are, of course, not as important as the work that you're doing at the time. And I speak from my own experience, taking my eye off the ball, literally and figuratively. Is so easy to get off track. And I can't believe that we're at our last 5 minutes already, and I'm gonna try to squeeze in 2 more questions if possible. What is your favorite place in Harlem?
Oh, that's an easy one for me. I love just walking up and down 125th Street, and when Mart 125 was around, that's where I would be making my first stop. But I just love walking up and down and spending time with the vendors, reading all the new books that are out, seeing the jewelry and the fashion. I just love walking up and down 125th Street. I was just up there Saturday.
Well, it has flown by, and, before I go too far, 125th Street is one of my favorite places, too, because even if you're not walking, you can sit anywhere and almost see anything and everybody walk past you, come up to you, ask you for something, ask you for nothing, but just to have that experience is quite incredible. I see why you love 125th Street. And Debert, we're at that moment, and can you give our listeners, and our readers, a way to stay in contact with you, website, social networks, whatever it may be, how they can subscribe to the magazine, to your website?
Yeah, sure. With our uniqueness, Danny, anybody that just puts in the Google African American Golfers Digest, our website will pop up. It's a .com under that name. And on social media, we're at LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. You can find it under African American Golfers Digest, or just put in my name, Debert Cook, and our social strands will come up.
Fantastic. And I wanted to ask you, because I'm squeezing in another question because we have another minute here. You mentioned in your about staying focused. Do you do events? And do you do anything other than covering what's happening? Do you do your own events, or you're so focused on the content part of it that you don't have time for anything other than that?
No, I still do. I still do a lot of business under my corporate event, Planners Plus, and I tie a lot of my travel programs in through that too. We've got a great trip going to Cape Town, South Africa in October that we've got 35 people already signed up for, and then we just did Dubai and Abu Dhabi last October that we had 70 people. So we do a lot of trips and getaways under the African American Golfers Digest banner. Yep, still do a lot of that.
Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't know that you were doing trips like that. Do you integrate those into both businesses, or they're standalone businesses on their own?
Yeah, they're standalone. We do the Martha's Vineyard with the magazine. We've done Alaska, Hawaii, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Africa twice. We do a lot of stuff for the golfers. They're under trips, getaways, and outings on our website.
That's fantastic. And Debert Cook, you are doing fantastic work, and really thank you for being on the show and talking about the work that you do with the African American Golfers Digest and your professional events business that you also do, and sharing that with us for Women's History Month. And I'm going to invite you back, so I really thank you for being on the show. Thank you again.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Well, folks, I'm almost at a loss for words. Debert Cook is doing great work, and really appreciate her spending the time to speak to us today and to share with us what makes her the kind of business professional that she is, and just swinging away at the opportunities. Get a copy of the magazine, go to the website, become a subscriber, and support golf in this great country of ours. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.